Yesterday, with all the stuff of variety coming out about Marvel, one of the more shocking things, in my opinion, was everything that supposedly is going on behind the scenes with the Blade movie. That's right. Mahershala Ali's Blade movie looks like a cluster F of just crap, pure crap. The biggest thing, it's went through multiple directors, multiple writers. Something that they were going to go with that I hope that they have completely scrapped. Blade was going to actually be the fourth lead in the film with three females ahead of him, just like the South Park Fandiverse thing. Kathleen Kennedy, even though she's over Star Wars, I feel like somebody said put a chick in it. Make it, what do you say? Make it gay and lame or what? I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. This honestly feels like a joke, like something that just a few years ago, less than 10 years ago, I would have been like, you're crazy. There's no way that's true. There's no freaking way. But apparently it is. And at one stage, somebody looked at something like that and was like, yeah, that's good. Let's do that. That will make money for sure. I mean, he was teased at the end of Eternals, probably one of the worst teases ever to set up a character. Honestly, no reaction at theater because nobody knew who the heck that. Nobody knew what that was. Nobody understood the tease with the sword and everything. People were just like, okay. So I don't know. But anyway, and it's sad because it was such a big deal. I mean, he came out with Kevin Feige, Herschel Ali, I mean, Oscar winner actor, great actor. And he comes out, it's this big deal. Oh, yeah, Blade, da 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 da. I mean, even though he'd been, in the Netflix show, the Luke Cage show, I mean, people are like, that's fine, do it. He's probably going to make it great. We can't get Wesley Snipes back, so let's go with this. And then to find out that this is what they give the man, if I'm him, I'll walk it away. That's rumors behind the scenes that he's more likely just done or going to be done or trying to find a way to be done. This is sad. The current state of Disney and Marvel, mainly Disney as a whole, is shocking. It's shocking that they're gonna miss out on this massive opportunity with this great actor for what? Because you can't get a good script together. I mean, not even decent script. I mean, that sounds like the bottom barrel trash of scripts. I can't imagine who wrote this. First of all, whoever wrote this, please go back on strike. I mean, for you, a special writer strike, just go on strike and just be done with the industry as a whole, because you should not be involved in writing. Any sort of entertainment whatsoever, especially a large Marvel franchise like Blade. I mean, this was like, I mean, they want diversity and all this stuff. I mean, this is handed to you on a silver platter. They want diversity if they can change it. If it's somebody that they deem too white or even Greek. I mean, look at what's happening with Hercules right now. Michael B. Jordan, possibly set to play Hercules in the live action reboot of the Disney's Hercules cartoon. Um, but they want diversity, and they want that as long as they can change it from the original source material, as long as they can change it. But because Blade has always been a black male, they gotta do something. Let's put a chick in it. I hear Carmen's voice in my head saying, "Put a chick in it." I mean, and they were gonna make it real lame, like super lame. And who was a chick? I mean, Elsa Bloodstone is the only thing I can think of off the top of my head that they could put in there. And I mean that they used her for what the Werewolf by Night thing, which I mean I didn't hate. I thought it was fine for what it is, but I mean, come on, there's no point in a Blade movie in putting three women in it over Blade. And it was gonna be one of those like life lessons type of thing. This sounds like a joke. This sounds like a parody of a Blade movie. But this was supposed to be real. This is something they were really gonna do. They really wanted to do. Disney was going to, this is more than doubling down. This is tripling down and then put Blade at the end. I mean, they were going to, at one stage, take Blade. At one time, I mean, let's remember the 90s, early 2000s. What was good around that time? Like, as far as like Marvel goes, really, what, Blade, X-Men, and Spider-Man, right? That was it. And I mean, you got X-Men and Spider-Man. I mean, those are massive properties, even at that time. I mean, look at the cartoons, and then Blade. Blade had 3 movies. Blade had a trilogy of movies, just like Spider-Man, X-Men around that time. I mean, X-Men went on to do more, and obviously Spider-Man rebooted, but Blade since then, other than what that who's that rapper? The TV show, they did a TV show, and they had a rapper. I mean, really, that's it for Blade. But people don't even know about that TV show. I mean, I think it was on like Sci-Fi or USA or something back in the day. Anyway, not a great show. I think the rapper's name was Sticky Fingers. If I could be wrong, but anyway, that was it. So people were excited about Blade finally returning and return on the big screen. I mean, Blade is a type of character that Disney should be wetting their pants over. This is a character that has that people. I mean, a lot of people remember. I mean, if you're around my age, you remember the Blade movies for sure, and you probably remember them fondly. This is somebody that could do multiple things with that doesn't have a bunch of comparison stuff. I mean, you have Wesley Snipes, that's it, and that's great. But people, I think, for the most part, people would understand why you can't fully continue with Wesley Snipes at this point. I mean, you could have, but then there's a lot of legal stuff, and I mean, let's keep in mind, I mean, they could. I mean, they could have, but they're probably not going to. I mean, not everybody's going to pull a Robert Downey Jr. here, and Wesley Snipes, I don't know. I know he's done some stuff here and there, but I don't know. And I remember there being some rumors even back in the day that he was difficult to work with. So I feel like that would be just Marvel was just like, let's go with somebody else. We got an Oscar-winning actor here that is willing to do it, a recognizable actor, and instead of taking that golden opportunity and being like, okay, Blade. I mean, this has been a minute since we know Blade's been coming out. Instead of them being like, okay, Blade, we want to do all this diversity stuff. How about a character that isn't? I mean, Blade is an older character, which in my mind plays more favorably to the audiences because he has a built history. He's had movies before. People know who he is. Instead of doing that, let's rush Kamala Khan. And no offense. I mean, the kid. I know this is a kid, so I'm trying to handle it a little differently. But let's rush Kamala Khan and America Chavez and all these other characters to the MCU and to movies and such. Instead of doing that, they piddled around with Blade, and this is the best they could do. Really, like that's what you can do. Delegating him to the fourth lead in a movie called Blade, and then you're really gonna like. I mean, it's three females. I mean, what is this? I mean, maybe like I don't know what. I mean, this is a vampire thing. Well, what are they gonna do? I mean, you have to have Blade, the vampire hunter, be the lead of the movie, and it doesn't have to like be a groundbreaking script. I mean, just this should be just an easy layup for Marvel with Blade. I mean, but they couldn't do it, or they're not doing it now. And I mean, you have multiple people leaving the project, which is automatically like, okay, something's wrong here. And I think now we know one of the things that was wrong. That's a big thing. If I'm handed that script, if I'm Mahershala Ali, I'm like on the phone with people on my team, my agent and stuff. I'm like, how do I get out of this? I mean, what do I do? Did he have enough creative control to like be like, hey, listen, you do this, you're going to do it without me. I'm not doing this. This is insane. But Marvel and Disney, I mean, they have such an ego right now that they're like, no, this is good. They're probably like trying to talk him into it. But I mean, this is insane. Like, how did they think this would go over? This would go over like a wet fart. Like, this would have been insane. As soon as this came out, this started coming out. As soon as trailers were coming out and all this stuff, and then especially when the movie came out, I mean, this would have been reshoot city for sure. I mean, they would have had to have reshot. I mean, there's no way if this would have made it all the way to the big screen, this would have made like no money. They would have lost so much money. And this would have been another flop in the long line of flops that Disney's had recently. I mean, yeah, this is crazy. And nowadays, you can't hide that stuff. At one point, you could hide it and people wouldn't know till they actually in the movie theater and watching the movie. Nowadays, people are going to know sometimes years in advance. I mean, we see what Variety's, spilled a lot of tea on Marvel and did not make them look good. And I mean, hey, Marvel kind of has it coming. I love Marvel, diehard Marvel. I mean, I love Marvel comic books, but to do something like that, that's insane. And we haven't even, I mean, in this video, I mean, I've touched on other videos, but we haven't even touched on some of their stuff. I mean, She-Hulk's budget. I mean, just everything. I mean, there's stuff going on with Agatha, Hartnett, and Wiccan there. I mean, just so many things. The whole Jonathan Majors situation. I mean, they're just like, I don't know. And of course the Marvels. What the Marvels? I mean, that is insane. That all this stuff is going on now. Like, what are you doing? Disney as a whole just needs to step back and really be like, okay, we're not even going to like look at these scripts unless they're good scripts. And no, we're not going to just change everything for the hell of changing it. That's not working. Look at the stock, look at the current reputation of Disney and Marvel. It's crazy. I mean, South Park did so much damage to them in the public eye. They really pointed out the stock stuff. And I mean, hey, you know what? That's what you get, Marvel. If this is the crap you're trying to give people, that's what you get.